Welcome to YOUCANIC. In this video we're going to show you how to repair a rock chip. In this case you can see the rock chip right there, and it's a pretty good size, and we're going to go ahead and repair that. Okay, so the first thing here, what we need to do is you're going to clean the area. You don't need to use any solutions here, just a clean and dry cloth. Just clean the area as much as you can. Then take a razor blade and then scrub the center there, just to make sure that there's no loose glass sitting there, okay? Doing this very gently, not putting much pressure or anything, just making sure that we remove any loose glass from there, okay? So once you do that, then we'll take this suction cup and we're gonna center it, so the center of it, the hole, is right over where the rock chip hit and when the brake hits. So let's go ahead and then push this down. Now if you got cracks coming all the way down here, don't put the suction cup over the crack. What you can do is you can move these in and out if you need to, or rotate it. Okay, so push them all down. Alright, okay. So the next step is to take the resin chamber and then screw this in here. And pay close attention, make sure that the center of it is going to be right on where the rock chip hit. Right at the center of that crack. So since we can't see very well from this side, what we're going to do is we're going to look from underneath the windshield. And in case you need to position it, okay, so we can see that the center of the chamber is hitting right on that, where the crack is. And now the next step would be to, now you don't need to get these super tight. The next step is to drop in some raisin into the chamber, and we're going to do about 4 to 5 drops. Okay. I will take this driver and then we're going to screw this in. Okay, we're going to screw this in all the way. Now if you see any drops coming from the bottom, then you can tighten this chamber there, but we don't have any so far. Now we got to pay attention, and the raisin should start filling in the cracks. So look at the cracks where you can. If you need to, you might have to look from underneath. And then this driver, we're going to screw that all the way in. What we need to do now, we need to wait about 5 minutes so the raisin can start penetrating into the cracks. And what we're going to do is we're going to remove this driver and we're going to drop a few more drops of the raisin, and then we're going to reinsert the driver and then tighten it again and wait another 5 minutes so that raisin can get pushed in into those cracks and go all the way out. We're gonna hold the chamber, get this part, the driver, loose. We're gonna drop another 5 drops of resin into this chamber. we're going to drive the resin in again. So we're gonna loosen up this driver for a tiny bit. Make sure you don't loosen up the chamber itself. What you want to do is you want to just loosen up the driver, not the chamber. Okay. So what this does is takes the pressure off, and if there's any air bubbles on those cracks, those will come up to the surface. And so we'll just go ahead. There's enough resin in there, so we'll go ahead and just simply retighten this. So put pressure back in there. So we're pushing more resin in, and hopefully those bubbles keep coming up. One thing that you can do, if you notice that the resin is not going through the cracks, what you can do is you can hit the windshield up with a heat gun. You want to have the heat gun at the lowest settings and keep it far enough from the windshield so it doesn't overheat the windshield. Otherwise, you could just cause more problems and cracks, or cause damage to the sun visor in this case, or the dashboard, depending where you're working. So that could help as well. But once you do that, once you let this resin soak in for another 4 or 5 minutes, then we'll put a film on top and let that sit outside in sunlight, or let some ultraviolet light cure the resin so it gets hardened, and then after it's hard, then you can scrape off any on the surface. Now here you can see we have a little bit of drip, and it's because this chamber itself needs to be tightened a little bit more. So if you see that, just tighten your chamber. And so after you wait, this is going to take a little bit of time, but once the resin goes through all those cracks, then you will be able to remove this. So we're gonna take this film and put it right on top there. Okay. And we're gonna let this cure. You can take the car outside and allow sunlight to cure it, or you can use the ultraviolet light to cure this. If you see that it's still soft, don't remove this. Just let it get dry and hard, and then you can remove the fill. You can also take a razor blade and then scrape off any excessive resin that's sitting up. And that's it. Thanks for watching.